All right, hello Glenmore High and welcome to our first remote parade. Please bear with us while we muddle our way through this. You've got the student leaders and the senior school team with you today on Teams. All right, so just wanted to flag some important information with regards to our transition back to school-based learning phase. So as of Monday, the 11th of May, which is this coming Monday, students in year 11 and 12 will be able to return to school. The current home-based learning arrangements that we've had will stay in place for our year 7 to 10 students, except for those that are children of essential workers or vulnerable children. We're hoping that if the COVID-19 transmission rates continue to stay low, that students in years 7 to 10 will be able to return to school from Monday the 25th of May, and a decision about this will be made by next Friday the 15th of May. So fingers crossed, all our students will be back at school learning by week 6 this term.
So hello everyone, this is Kayla here. We just hope that everyone has had a happy and healthy time in isolation, staying at home as best as you can. Hopefully trying to get some exercise in, or maybe watching a bit too much movies, but either way, as long as you're happy and healthy.
Hello, this is Vincent Digo, and for next week's sports report, I encourage you guys to participate in the 3,046 push-ups in 21 days, which will happen in May the 11th to the 31st for 2020. So the purpose of the push-up challenge is to raise awareness to the mental health in Australia. 40% of Australians will experience a mental health issue at some point of their life. The 3,046 push-ups for 3,046 lives lost to the suicide in 2018. Registering is just easy. Just go to the website, search Push-Up Challenge. Team up with some mates and help our community fundraise money for the Headspace Rockhampton. For more information, see the website in the school or in the Facebook page.
Hi everyone, it's Callan. So gratitude. Gratitude is pretty important. Why is it important? Well, it improves your physical health, your sleep, your mental health, and your strength. It also boosts your self-confidence and helps to make you happier. How can you practice gratitude? Well, a couple of things you can do is you write down something you're grateful for. So, I don't know, like your teacher or your classmates or whatever you're grateful for. And just take a moment to appreciate them.
So thank you, seniors, for those positive words of wisdom. So now I'd like to work through some frequently asked questions and answers that have come up just since the announcement of years 11 and 12 returning to school. The first one is what arrangements are schools required to make for students who choose not to attend school? So the reality is that students in prep year 11 and 12, etc., are expected to attend school from Monday the 11th of May. The classroom teacher is not responsible for providing an alternative learning at home program for students in these year levels where parents elect to keep these students at home. However, if parents of these children contact you, you may wish to discuss with them ways they can best support their children at home. So we're certainly happy to answer questions around how we can support your child if they're staying at home, but the expectation that is that they're back at school and learning at school. Parents can also access the Learning at Home resources via the website, and there's only a limited amount of home-based learning. So students in senior years would continue to follow their learning program. So ideally for students in senior year 11 and 12, they need to be at school learning, and that will give them the best opportunity for success. Another question, obviously, that's coming up from parents and students is it safe to come back to school? So we're basing our guidelines on the updated advice from health authorities, and as announced by the Queensland Government, state schools will begin that transition back to school-based learning for students We have a range of on-site health and safety measures. So we've got regular hand washing and hand sanitising, particularly obviously before and after eating and after going to the toilet. There's increased cleaning of our school classrooms, particularly the high frequency touch points and water fountains or bubblers, regular cleaning of play equipment and materials. We've got additional hand washing stations around the school, and in the alternate timetable that I'll talk about in a little bit, there's some 5-minute downtimes between classes to do additional hand washing and sanitation as well. The facilities that will be available during the next 2 weeks, we will have an alternate playground duty roster that will not include opening the MMC or oval. However, outside areas for physical activity will be available. So we're looking at the grassed area at the back of J and F blocks. The library will be available at lunches for basic transactions, so borrowing and returning of books, researching and printing, etc. But numbers will need to be monitored because obviously this is a closed space. So we want to encourage physical activity, but because we have less staff on site, we need to limit our areas while we've got less staff and less students, but still maintaining social distancing. Will it be actual teaching or more online learning, and what will the timetable look like? Yes, all your classes will run in a face-to-face mode when you return. We will have an alternate timetable structure for weeks 4 and 5 with the view to returning to normal school timetables from week 6 when all students return to school, if that's the announcement that's made. The timetable has 3 70-minute lessons and 2 70-minute swag classes, which will be self-selected studies. So time to work on subjects that require individual student focus, depending on what they want to catch up on. We've also created the 70-minute structure to limit the movement of classes. So essentially, there's less movement to our current timetable structure. So that's another sort of hygiene and safety measure that we've put in place. And as you can see in there, between each lesson, there's 5 minutes for you to wash your hands and get ready for the next class. Okay. Those are all the questions we've got at the moment. We are more than happy to answer questions. Mr. Shannon did a live Facebook event last night and answered some questions. More than happy to answer any questions in whatever mode they come into the school, whether it's by Facebook or through email or phone call, etc., from parents or students. So please keep the questions running. Thank you to the senior leaders for their input, and we really look forward to seeing you on Monday, the 11th of May. Thanks, guys. Can't wait to see you all back. Thanks.